bring
Especially
up. You know
when
what I'm
your
saying? Like that's
ex-boyfriend was sex trafficking and is currently in prison.
thank you. Are we gonna talk about that? Are we gonna talk about that? And you still advocate for him?
The
That's
rules
yeah.
just
I don't. It,
they would have more beef with her if she took a picture with Trey Songz.
they would.
Then
They
I
literally
can't keep
would.
up. I don't know what the rules are.
That's my thing, because the same girls who love this song and have it on their Instagram stories every weekend are the
The
same
wokest
girls
wokes.
who are like yeah, thank you, who are like yeah, fuck Tory Lanez or fuck Chris Brown or fuck whoever, and I'm like y'all gotta
You can't keep up,
one,
man. You just
you gotta be yeah.
out the trunk with Jordan and Darius. My name is Darius. That's D's all up in your area on all socials.
And I'm Jordan. That's Jordy B writing on all socials.
This is our segment we've titled What's on Our Mind. Still workshopping an actual title to it. Let us know. Hit the inbox. But we let you guys know what's on our mind, what we've seen on the internet, what
Yeah.
we have going on. I want to you want to start with chasing your dreams?
Yeah, so I saw this tweet, this interview with Edward Norton, one of my favorite actors, Fight Club, for those who are maybe not a avid movie fan. And he was
Worm.
talking about how like
If you watch
yeah,
Rounders.
Worm from Rounders. Yeah, Worm from Rounders. The first Hulk, well, the first Hulk in the MCU before they gave it to Ruffalo. He was talking about how like when he lives in New York in '93 when he's like first trying to break out as an actor, and he was saying, like I knew exactly how much money I need to make just to have to live. I wasn't driving because it's New York, whatever. And he's like, I needed plus rent and expenses, 1,500 total per month was what I needed to live to survive, and I could just work, catering jobs and waiter jobs, so I could do auditions whenever I needed to and stuff like that to make it work. And it brought me back to that topic we talked about, I think last week, where it was what's been ruined by the cost of everything being so expensive. And I feel like chasing your dreams is one of those things.
Yeah, yeah, that is true. You used to be able
And
to
even
show
if
up
it's
in New
not
York
chasing,
City with $1 in a dream, and
yeah, with a dollar in a dream and make some sort of living. And it
um,
feels like now you can't even. It's hard to like. It's a luxury if you're doing something that you enjoy.
yeah, that is true. And I do want to just say off the top, humans can be unreliable narrators, so I'm sure,
Fair.
like, I don't doubt that he kind of knew, but like he's recall, like if you ask someone, you know, what was the rent on your first apartment in your early 20s, they're gonna say a number and they're not gonna think they're lying, but I bet you they're wrong. Like it's just,
Right.
so don't take the numbers he's saying to heart. But no, there is something to
Right.
the struggling actor waiting tables and being able to make shit shake that way. That shit is clipped.
Yeah. Doing
It's
it for the love of
just
the game is over.
nah, you need to already have your bread there. And we don't, it's kind of like you can't prove a negative, but I think that makes art worse, that people can't, within reason chase their dreams that way.
Yeah, I agree. I think one, you can't possibly devote all your time and energy to it because you have to work so hard just to make a living, you know what I mean, or make a somewhat livable, income. And also just like the stress from working a job that you have to
Yeah.
live that stifles your creativity. Like I work a lot and I work remote, so I'm spending and I have two monitors, so I'm essentially handcuffed to a desk for most of the day. And so the way, at least the way my mind works is like I'm most creative when I need a place to escape. Like I come up with a lot of ideas when I need to when I have my mind just wants to go somewhere where my body can't be. If that makes sense. And
Yeah.
like I have those ideas and shit. I'm like, fuck, I can think of like 15 poems or certain or a stanza while I'm working and shit. And it's like, but I can't just go and obsess about that for 8 hours and then come back to work and still have a job. You know what I mean? Like, so it's, of course we have the notes and voice memos and shit, and you can work on it afterwards, but it's still, there's something to be said for doing the thing when the thing hits you.
Yeah.
And it's just not always quite the same.
But just like riding, man, sometimes you just, it's like when you go for a run, you get what they call runner's high, where you don't even
Yeah.
realize you're running. And that happens with writing, where you just get writer's high and you're just
Yeah.
flying through pages and you edit it later, but like you're not thinking about it. You're just pumping out the
Hmm.
stuff. I do think so, like the lifestyle, and I'm not gonna just straight read what he said, but like he's like,
Yeah.
my apartment was smaller than this. He's like in a podcast studio, and he's like, my apartment was smaller than this, and
Was a shoebox.
I
Yeah.
ate ramen, and if I may offer a counterpoint, I don't hear a lot of people willing to do that anymore. There's like it's
That
what
is
they
also
call
true.
lifestyle creep. Like people, it is true. Like things are such you can't just show up with a dollar in a dream anymore. But also
Right.
people ain't willing to, I hear people like it's like people in their early to mid 20s complaining like I don't want to have roommates. Well, I mean,
You're gonna have to work your whole life.
you have to start somewhere. Like, like
Yeah,
how many
yeah.
like are the people willing to stay in that, roach infested studio apartment and eat
Hmm.
ramen and work, you know, do chase your dreams during the day and work overnight. Like this, he's not describing an upper middle class like
Correct,
luxurious life.
correct.
And there's a lot of
Yeah.
it's like when people are like, boomers bought a house with $72 in an IOU, and it's like, yeah, the house had one bedroom, one bath, and they raised six people in it. You're not willing to do that. So there
And
is,
right.
there is something to like the living standards are such that
Correct.
you can still get a studio apartment with roaches and chase
Yeah.
your acting dream, but like you don't want to do that, and
No,
so
like
it's a little bit of both. Is kind of what I'm getting at.
yeah, that's very true. I feel like the lock-in was different back then, you know what I mean? Like you
Yeah,
could really just hone in and like, and also I think people that's true. People don't want to do that. Like,
no,
if like I think like I remember I had one point I had a dream of like I wanted to like just go out to LA and just like try it. You
yeah.
know what I mean? And try to make it as I think maybe at the time I wanted to maybe like write screenplays or something like that. Or do something in act. I can't remember exactly what it was. But you know, and it's like, but damn, nowadays you're like, you gotta have 10 grand saved up to be there to be poor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's
Costs a
like,
thousand
well
bucks a month to
shit.
be homeless.
Yeah, like and so that does kind of stifle a lot of it makes me think of like even like the internet, like it's great to like it's there's the cons, in terms of like comparing your life to other people and all that kind of stuff. And but there's also more ways to get your stuff out there. But in the same token, it's also like, if you didn't have those avenues to put your stuff out there, like, you don't have to it doesn't cost so much
Yeah.
nowadays, but it's also like, well, then you have to deal with everybody commenting on everything you do,
Yeah.
and everybody's a critic, and everybody's, they want to do what you're doing, but they're mad you're doing it, so they're just going to say negative things about it, even if you're good at it. You know what I mean?
It's, way off topic, but you see this with like the WNBA players, like complaining about like the racism online. It's like,
Hmm.
I know this is inelegant and I'm sorry, but the commissioner can't turn off the internet. I don't know what to tell you. There's
Right.
nothing anyone can, there's no magic words Caitlin
Which
Clark can
sucks,
come out
but
and
yeah.
say to make them stop. Like you just have to,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
if y'all need like maybe have like a private network of players only IGs and Twitters and
Hmm.
y'all and just make it for friends. If like you have to be like I don't know what to tell you. I can't turn off like you can't turn it off. Like
No. Yeah, it's there's nothing you can do.
there's nothing anyone can do about the comment section.
Yeah, and I
Um
think more often than not, it's more positive than negative. It's just that it's what your algorithm is programmed to be, and also
yeah,
what you respond to. Like I've tweeted back and forth with like celebrities and stuff,
yeah,
and more often than not, it's been more positive. But
yeah,
like I remember one time I tweeted with someone and they misunderstood what I was saying and they thought it was a negative, but I got a response. You know
yeah.
what I mean? And it's like that's that thing, like, it's like that thing where actors like talk about getting reviews and reading them, and they can pass through the 18 good reviews they saw, but that one negative comment will fuck up their whole day. You know what I mean?
Well, we've evolved to be more highly attuned to criticism because, in caveman days, criticism could get you killed. And so like, and the consequences were so dire, but that was back when your social network was, 50 people and not 50,000
Right.
people. And so, there's an evolutionary reason why 10 good comments doesn't even equate to the one bad one. But
True.
to circle it back to it, it's just yeah, art does suffer when everything is monetized to that degree.
Yeah.
And also the lifestyle he's describing is one of like genuine. I mean, he's describing, yes, he didn't need to make a lot of money, but he was living in poverty.
Use
Like
poverty. Yeah. Yeah.
he's like what he's describing is not a quality of
Yeah.
life that most people are willing to accept to chase their dreams. And so it,
That is true.
it is, is a bit of a chicken or egg thing there.
That's true.
You got anything else for
Um,
that one?
yeah, just one last point. Honestly, it's the one great thing I found with the internet and social media is like seeing that there are so many creative and talented people.
Yeah.
Like just like the comment section in TikTok is basically stand up. Like
Yeah.
it's like bro, and these people are just going to work the next day, working in their cubicles, doing whatever the fuck, and like, or the people making these crazy like funny reels, and people will post their art. Like I follow a lot of like painters and stuff, and I'm like, bro, you painted that? Like, how is it physically possible? And then you have to go to work tomorrow and do fucking whatever you do for your job, and it's like it's bittersweet because it's like it's inspiring, but it's also a little sad because I'm like, you should not be working whatever fucking job you're working with the ability that you have.
Yeah, I mean, but a lot of these people don't want to monetize it, man.
That is also
You
true.
monetize a hobby, it stops being a hobby real quick.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and I remember when Twitter was like that, where I would like every day get multiple times laugh out loud. It's not like that anymore. But
Yeah.
I used to scroll and be like, man, these people should be doing comedy. They should be writing for TV shows. They should be doing,
Yeah.
this, that, and the third. And a lot of TV shows would steal Twitter jokes. Like you could see, like if you were on a timeline, you
Yeah.
could see them stealing a Twitter joke. And but I will say that like the people who actually do it for a living will tell you it's different when it's your job and like you need seven jokes by Friday and you can't have six
Yeah.
jokes. You need seven and you have to film that show. And if the jokes just like bomb, then it just is what it is. And so,
Yeah, man.
off the cuff with no consequences, it's easy to pump it out that way, so.
That's a good point. Did you see that clip of Benny Blanco on I'm sorry, Blake Griffin on Benny Blanco's podcast?
I don't even know who Benny Blanco is.
He does like a lot of music stuff. He's married to Selena Gomez.
Okay,
He's like a
gotcha.
producer and stuff like that, musician. So he's talking about how he produced and worked on some albums with Kanye.
Yeah.
When back when he was doing that. Remember that summer he dropped like 4 7 song albums with like everybody on Good Music?
Yeah.
Where he talked about the process. He's like, dude, a lot of people can't handle it, but he was like, for me, it was like fourth quarter, game seven. He's like, and I loved it. The pressure. He's like, dude, the day of the album party, like he hadn't laid a single vocal, and people are like, what the fuck are we gonna do? Oh my god, like freaking out and shit. And he's like, he's laying vocals in the car on the way to the listening party, so the album can be put on streaming services. And like, he's talking about just like the pressure and the rush and the thrill of having to perform at such a high level and produce that much work in that short a period of time. And like, I was like, damn, that's crazy. But also, a lot of people can't do that, and that's what separates the good from the great, or the dreamer from the one who accomplishes the goal.
What I will say is that, for the people listening, Kanye West can get away with that. I would not.
Yeah, no, no, don't.
Don't be finishing up the work on the way to present the work in
Yeah,
the car on the way there. That's a
yeah,
recipe for someone of Kanye West's immense talent. I don't.
yeah. If you have a presentation at work, you should practice the night before.
Yeah, laying vocals on the way to the listening party is nuts.
Nuts.
Absolutely nuts. And the thing is, Kanye, I mean, by then he was Kanye. So like, if he just
Yeah.
showed up and was like, "It ain't ready yet," people was gonna wait. Like he wasn't really risking anything. It's not like they were gonna be like, "I'm going home. He's 2 hours late." Like, nah.
Like he wasn't gonna get a record deal or something.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. The stakes were low. So,
that's fair.
all right, man. Have you been following the Young Miami and India Arie discourse?
Yeah, I have. I've seen some of the discourse online. I watched a clip of it on the Button Pod, which is pretty funny.
Uh,
What was the
what
exact? Do you have the exact quote that India said before I
It's a
talk about what
long
they said on the
ass
pod? Okay,
IG comment. The gist of it was like
okay.
it's a similar criticism to what OGs had
Influencing the
of
youth.
or just drill music but for women.
Gotcha. Okay,
Like it's
okay,
those same criticisms that it's
okay.
it's a bad influence, it's a bad culture to exemplify.
Yeah,
It's the fact that this is the biggest hip hop song in the world is not a good look. Just,
right.
if you listen to rap, there's always been a contingent of older, more conservative black people who
Correct.
have critiqued the content of the rap music we were listening to.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. So it's
so it's,
basically
yeah,
the Cicely Tyson speech from that Medea movie.
correct,
He's like, on this land.
right.
Um, yeah, so on the button pie they were talking about it, and I think Mark was essentially like, he's like, I get it, like I agree with what she's saying, he's like, but we do listen to that's like all rap music, like it's problematic, you know what I mean? So it's kind of hard to part and parcel with, you know, one rapper versus another, and they were kind of saying like this ain't the worst of the bad influence of
No,
or misogynistic songs, you know what I mean? So, uh, but in general, like I by and large, I agree with India Ari. There's obviously a problematic element in hip hop, and mostly because nowadays hip hop is not diverse anymore. Like
Yeah.
growing up, we had 50 Cent, we had Kanye, we had Wayne, we had Common, we had
Fun rappers, Ludacris.
yeah, Ludacris,
Head Up
Ti.
East, we
We
had
had so many
Wu-Tang.
people. Yeah,
Also, like, the difference is that they say this about R&B now, where it's like
right.
there's still sexual content, but now is there's no innuendo. It's just
There's
fucky, fucky,
none.
sucky,
It's
sucky.
fuck. Yeah,
And so,
yeah,
like, someone said the Blue Contrail song "Oops" was about scamming, and I'm like, yeah, but
yeah,
like it was clever, and you could play it around your
yeah.
children. And the
Thank
hook to
you.
this song is literally "Where my scamming ass bitch is at."
Scamming ass niggas at. Well, yeah, and bitches at. Yes.
It's like she knows like 12
There's
words in the entire dictionary, and
literally.
I don't
Yeah,
want
and
to.
that's the thing too, because
That's the other
like,
thing too. Someone was like, "Y'all be tearing down these young women." Young Miami's 32.
yeah, she's not that young.
She's not young at all. She's
And
32 years
she's
old.
32. She's not young. And the word artist, we're using that very liberally, considering what she actually makes her money doing. But we can leave that alone. Um,
I
yeah,
just
I think
thought that I swore I was going into maybe it was I thought going into 2026, pussy
yeah,
rap and drill rap was over. And pussy rap is the number one rap
yeah,
song in the country right now. Drill rap is over,
yeah.
seems
It
like.
is
But
pretty much. Yeah. Um,
it's a catchy song. I get it. I'm not clutching my
it is. It's
pearls
very
over
catchy.
it. I'm not clutching my pearls, but I do. The people acting like Indy Arie did not have a point, or acting
It
like
was
she's just a
crazy.
hating old hag. And it's like, no, I mean, sometimes the old folks do have a point. And
Have a
it's like,
point.
the song is degenerate as fuck. And
Correct.
it's okay to just not want to hear that shit. You know?
Especially when you were in a group and in that group, your group mate went to jail for scamming
Yeah.
and it almost fucked up your career. Like that's kind of important to bring
Especially
up. You know what
when
I'm
your
saying? Like that's
ex-boyfriend was sex trafficking and is currently in prison.
thank you. Are we gonna talk about that? Are we gonna talk about that? And you still advocate for him?
The
That's
rules
yeah,
just
I don't it,
they would have more beef with her if she took a picture with Trey Songz.
they would.
Then
They
I
literally
can't keep
would.
up. I don't know what the rules are.
That's my thing, because the same girls who love this song and have it on their Instagram stories every weekend are the
The
same
wokest
girls
wokes.
who are like, yeah, thank you, who are like, yeah, fuck Tory Lanez or fuck Chris Brown or fuck whoever, and I'm like,
You can't keep up, man.
you gotta be, yeah, man. It's just the
It
mental
just
gymnastics is kind
I
of
don't
crazy.
know. There's no consistency, there's no logic. People just I
Nah,
will say I do feel like a lot of people just kind of just don't talk about the woke era anymore. They just kind of
they
everyone's
don't,
tired.
they
Everyone's just
don't.
over it and everyone's just like, you know
I
what?
think everyone's because it's too much information to
It's
keep
too
track
much,
of. Like
man.
who's canceled, who's not. I don't know.
I saw the dude
Yeah,
like you'll
what?
be talking about like some artists and some be like, y'all don't remember what he said on a forum in 2012. Like, no, I don't, and I don't
No,
care.
I don't. I don't.
Keep
And
it
I
to
hate when they
yourself. I
do
don't
that.
have a spreadsheet of this
Yeah.
shit, man.
And I hate when they do that, and they do it with like the vague posting. And
Yeah.
I'm like, what did they do? Like what? And you got to scroll 57 comments to see what they did, and it wasn't even that crazy. Um, yeah. I also like my thing with like people trying to criticize India Arie. I'm like, first of all, she was a phenomenal artist, musician, writer, everything. Her music, she walked the walk, she talked the talk. Her pen was crazy. And it's back to like you said about the point about like R&B and like innuendo, like. I don't know what it is, but like cursing in R&B just feels offensive to me
Yeah.
because like there's just no innuendo, there's no metaphors, there's no similes, there's no literary devices, there's no
It's just
onomatopoeia,
rap
there's
and beat.
nothing. It's just yeah, literally. And it's like, she talked about sex and shit. Listen to
Yeah.
Chocolate High. What do you think that song is about? I mean, it's just that her
It's
music was
just
for smart people.
yeah, and also these artists, it would behoove them to clean it up. We sound so old to clean it up a little
We do.
bit because you know millennials are parents now, and them being able to play their music around their kids with the
Is what
wink and the
helps your
nod to
audience
their
grow.
spouse is valuable. Like I didn't know Country Grammar was about a drive-by shooting until I was 20 something years old. I
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
just Down Down Baby, Yo Street in the Range Rover. Like I didn't think that was about a drive by.
Yeah.
But
Wasn't he
like
dissing Chingy?
something like that, some St. Louis street beef, and it's just.
Yeah.
But like he didn't just drill music would literally overtly be like, and I'm going to murder you, and I'm.
Yeah. No,
It's
you know
just
what's funny? So I was
you
literally
can play that
listening.
around your kids, you know?
No, I was literally listening to Murder on My Mind today by YNW Melly. And he's literally, he's in jail for killing his two best
Yeah,
friends or whatever.
it's a
And he
confession basically.
literally, yeah, bro, he's like, yeah, I shot him. And he's like, he held my hand and was like, I'm afraid to die. And next line is, he died in my arms. Yeah, bro, you're gonna go to jail for that. Like,
It's like they think they have a an internet that the FBI doesn't have access to. It's like they have a
yeah, like
it,
there's no diplomatic immunity in the rap songs. That's not
no.
that's not a thing.
No, it's not a thing. And the First Amendment protection is for discussing things that like didn't happen, but it doesn't if they can tie it to an actual because the common defense is
Yeah,
like no one's arresting Bob Marley for shooting a sheriff. Yeah, but like there's no
right.
connection to Bob Marley actually shooting a sheriff. He just made a song called I Shot the Sheriff.
The
If he'd
song called
actually
Jesus.
shot a sheriff, then it would be
Yeah,
incriminating. But like you have your songs are
correct.
about actual crimes.
Yeah, if Biggie had actually shot Tupac, then he would have that song would have been used in the court of law.
Yeah, man. If they can tie it to something that actually happened, you have no First Amendment protection.
Correct.
Um, but no, I mean, black people are not a monolith, and India Arie is allowed to have a different
No.
opinion. You know, it's fine.
Yes. Yeah. And it wasn't condemning her. It wasn't. She didn't, cascade her as a person. She didn't say she should be canceled. It wasn't crazy. And I think Young Miami was actually pretty respectful in her response because somebody had mixed done a mashup of her NDR song video with the song.
Yeah.
And then I think Young Miami commented on IG like with the eyes emoji. So I think she's down to like collab or something like that, whatever. But um, yeah, it was a perfectly harmless critique.
Yeah.
And I think that's unlike what NBA journalists and commentators do.
Yeah.
That's what makes the game good. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It wasn't a personal attack. It wasn't a I'm gonna assassinate your character. It's kind of like remember what Mos Def said about Drake, where he was
Yeah.
like, there's a commercial aspect to it. I think of shopping. I think of Target when I hear his
Yeah.
music. And he was like, yeah, you're not saying anything important anymore. Like that was a valid take.
But also, like when you make something creative and you put it in the world,
It's not yours
when
anymore.
also just like the expectation is not 100% approval. That was never, there's someone who
No.
didn't, who doesn't like Teddy Pendergrass's music. I think they're crazy, but like Teddy Pendergrass
Yeah,
isn't gonna like seek them out to to be mad. Like you're allowed to not like shit,
correct.
So
Yeah, I agree.
speaking of NBA commentators not keeping it hoop, what's the next topic?
What? Oh yeah, yeah. So the Jaylen Brown. So there's obviously Jaylen Brown got traded to the I almost said to the Eagles to the Sixers.
They play
And
in
we'll
the
talk
same
about the
part of
trade. We're
life.
gonna do it. Yeah, we're right. About to say they next door basically. We're gonna talk about the actual trade in a separate topic, guys. But one of the big reasons why that leaked about why he was traded was because executives felt like he was acted like he was the smartest person in the room,
Yeah.
which is I wouldn't call that a dog whistle. I think I call that like a train, a train choo choo.
I mean, I don't know.
It, well, here's the hard part. The thing with this particular topic with him is he does act like that. So it's almost like it's hard to say that
His
because it is
response
racist.
to it
It's
was
racist, but
his response.
he can be pretentious.
His response to that comment was, "That's a low bar to clear."
Yeah, and it's like that's what someone who thinks they're the smartest person in the room would say.
I, okay, so like people called it racist, and I get it. That's what
Yeah,
the has any
there is a
Celtic
history
player
of
come out
using
to
that.
defend him?
No,
Okay, so
yeah, I get what you're saying.
so you're telling me the guy who has a Twitch stream in which he constantly talks about how great he is. You're really shocked that people didn't enjoy working with him? I don't
Yeah, yeah,
the thing is like so you don't hear this critique like you said it used to be a common critique of
trope.
the uppity
Yeah,
Negro trope, right?
yes.
So to me, the fact that no one uses it anymore makes me more inclined to believe it's actually just true about him. Like because these white journalists, they have the internet too. Like Colin Coward has the internet too, and he knows
Yeah,
what he's stepping in by going there. And it
right.
might just be
That
the
is true.
case that Jaylen Brown is annoying and thinks he's the smartest person in the room. And your mic's off.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't know. All the public evidence suggests that he's an annoying, smug, smartest know-it-all. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
yes,
really.
I agree. I think so too. I think he's a good dude. He seems like a cool dude, but like I'm sure he don't sound. I'm sure he's a cool dude in real life, but he seems very defensive about. Like he seems like one of those people who's like not just smart. He's like, I want to prove to you that I'm smart, and those people can be hard to deal with at times.
Also, he might be smart, he might not. I don't know. I haven't seen much evidence
Well,
to
there's
either
that
way. But like I think what it is like he's smart for an NBA player, which is like
NBA
being
player,
tall for a midget. Like I don't understand.
right?
It's like
Yeah,
have you heard
yeah,
NBA
yeah.
have you heard these dudes?
Yeah, some
Um
of these dudes, bro. I There was a podcast I was listening to or a clip I saw, and he was like, the guy was asking I don't want to say the name because I want to be rude, but he was asking an NBA player about the difference between playing with two specific great players that they were teammates with, and he was like, "What's the slim, the lim, the similarities between the?" It's just like, you know, thank God you were tall.
yeah.
Um,
We live in North Carolina, Raleigh, 3 hours south, LaMelo Ball. He plays basketball.
he plays
He's lucky
basketball.
basketball worked out for him because
Thank God he grew to be 6'8".
there's literally, I don't think he could do anything else.
He damn sure can't drive Uber. I know that much. I'm glad for my friends in Charlotte. Shout out y'all. They can live to fight another day.
No,
Um,
I think I don't know Jaylen Brown. But I
yeah,
think that every all the public like the Twitch stream just has no one else in it. It's just him talking about
it's just
himself
him in his room.
and he might just but Monty Jones made this point on his podcast this week, and it's like
Yeah, I saw it too.
when you're actually smart, it does behoove you to make others comfortable with it.
Yes,
Nobody likes a smug know-it-all. And
yeah.
part of intelligence is social intelligence, emotional intelligence,
Reading the
and
room.
reading the room. And, I believe it was Bill Withers, the great Bill Withers, who said, it don't do you no good to be doing all that talking if ain't nobody listening. So if you
Right.
smart and no one cares what you have to say, what does it matter?
No, not a lick. Yeah. It actually, I was thinking about this over the last couple of days, and it made me think of like Big Bang Theories. We both love that show. It's one of my favorite shows ever. But like Sheldon Cooper, he's a genius. He's
Yeah.
also on the spectrum. Period. Comma space. He was also just an asshole.
Yeah.
Like there was also that too,
He was
you know.
terrible to
And
his
there's
friends.
he was horrible. He was mostly abusive, mostly negligent to Amy, so on and so forth. And it's just like, again, they put up with him because of what he had been through in life and
Yeah.
his conditions and things of that nature. Um, but he was more tolerated than liked. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And you compare that to we're big Game of Thrones fans. We'll talk about Game of Thrones in a little bit. But Tyrion to me was Tyrion and Varys were the smartest guys in Westeros to me, and they both knew how to hang out with and relay information and speak to and relate to people of all classes. You know
Yep.
what I mean? It reminds me of this Will Smith quote. He said, you really want to have range. He's like, from the White House to the ghetto, so to
Yeah.
speak. And if you can't consort with anyone, then you can't even, what impact are you going to have with your information? You know?
I mean, you know, it's like a great argument isn't one that a genius understands, it's one that a fool understands. And so like
Thank
if
you.
you can't
Yes.
explain it in different rooms, then you don't have a firm grasp of the knowledge of the information
Correct.
itself. And so, you know, it, I'll just say this. I don't think Jaylen Brown would be a great hang. It's, just doesn't sound like a great hang. And can we please stop with the he got into Cal Berkeley? Okay, he was there
He
for
played for a year. It was a basketball scholarship. Come on,
Duke is
guys.
basically Harvard South. No one says Brandon Ingram is a genius because he went to Duke.
Yeah, no,
When you're on the
no one's
basketball
ever.
team,
Yeah, and
it's
the
not
truth
the
is, my
same
thing,
thing.
and honestly, like before I really had to reflected on some of the racial undertones of the comment. When I first saw the statement release, I thought to myself, oh, so he acted like Kyrie did in 2017.
Yeah,
Like remember when he left LeBron and he wanted to like prove that I'm the big dog. He was really smug in all his interviews, and he wanted everyone to believe that he was this like super smart guy. Like, he was trying to act like he was Kobe. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like Kobe was obviously famously highly intelligent. Whatever. And it's like, okay, we knew Kobe was intelligent because we found out that he was intelligent. He wasn't like, hey, I also speak multiple languages and I play the piano and shit. You learned that throughout the course of his life. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a like LeBron didn't go around telling niggas, "Hey, I have photographic memory and I'm the smartest basketball player ever." Niggas just figured it out, and they told the story. It's like, uh,
Yeah, it's doth protest too much. You know, it's like
yes,
smart people don't talk about how smart they are.
yeah.
And it just I just don't think he's a great hang.
Well, my thing too is, and I watched Monty's pod, and he said this. He was like, so people keep talking about how smart he is or whatever, or just saying he's so smart, whatever. And he's like, I'm just gonna give you three things. And he goes, he was signed to Donda Sports, ran by Kanye West, and his manager was Antonio Brown. What the hell about any of that sounds smart to you?
um, yeah, he's that's a I don't
Like
know
I don't,
what
what has he said? This I like
it's
I
like this
he speaks up
self-fulfilling
for black. He
prophecy.
speaks up.
People keep saying
Yeah,
he's
I
smart,
just
and I'm like, can you point to something
but have
tangible?
y'all seen him do trigonometry or something, bro? Because I'm confused. And I've heard him speak before. Obviously, he has intelligence, but and I appreciate that he's for the culture and for the people and very pro black. I
What do we have
really
evidence of
appreciate and
that?
support
He's
that.
pro Jaylen. I don't know if he's pro black people. I don't like.
Well, he does like a lot of stuff in the community and charity work and things of that nature and stuff.
I'm gonna need more than that,
What
but
was I about to say?
obviously not off the cuff. But
Well, I hear you. Yeah, I'm about to say I have to really go back and see exactly what it was that he's done.
it's just
Yeah,
a lot
but
of
I just
I
it's a lot of
heard
hearsay. I heard,
yeah.
I saw he gave a lecture at this school. Okay, lots of famous people give lectures at schools. That doesn't
Yeah,
mean
I
that
mean,
like Matt Damon went to Harvard. Like he actually attended the school. He didn't just get an honorary degree. Well, he didn't graduate, but he didn't just get an honor. He attended Harvard for years. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like I
You're a prominent
I
athlete. They
don't.
paid you to speak, and someone else wrote the speech, and you read it. Okay. Uh, it's like, a lot of smoke and mirrors behind this alleged intelligence.
Yeah, I really look forward to just figuring out when that's actually going to show itself. Um, Also, my thing is like, if he was really that much of a genius, wouldn't he have found a better way to get himself out of Boston without looking the way he's looked?
Well, I mean, he got
Not,
his
and he didn't
bag. He
request a
got his new
trade. He didn't
team.
request a trade, but I mean, I don't know.
There's CBA mechanisms to that, so I don't know if you could, you know, use intelligence to smoke and mirrors your way to a perfect situation or whatever. But
Kawhi
um,
did that shit
well,
twice.
yeah, it's true. But like the Kawhi's, well, that's the thing too. Kawhi's actually good at basketball.
He
Kawhi's
can go
been number
left.
one.
He
Yeah,
can go left.
yeah. Kawhi is like a much better basketball player. So teams were like, that's the thing in all of this
Yeah,
is that people are like, how did Boston only get such and such? Well, we want to move on to the next one.
yeah.
All right, so we're not going to do this as its own segment. We will get into NBA free agency as a little quip in this one. Just keep it on Jaylen
Yeah.
Brown. I just don't think he's as good as people think he is,
I don't
and
either.
I've never see it when I watch him. Like I watch him, and it's just a lot of like all of his shots are hard, all of his shots are in
Yes.
isolation. And I just think that people were like, well, how did Boston only get such and such for the crowd? He was traded to the 76ers, if you don't
Hmm.
you know by now for Paul George and a bunch of stuff, bunch of draft picks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe he just isn't like that, and teams didn't want him, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
But yeah, people keep saying like, oh, like I do agree. People have been trying to break up Tatum and Brown for years. I really didn't like that. I hate when they do that with players. But it's also like if the organization views Tatum as better, why can't it be possible that Tatum is just better?
yeah,
Like, and like, people are like, oh, there's some conspiracy, and it's like maybe he's just better because I don't know. Tatum can go right. He can shoot threes. He can catch and shoot. Those things matter,
doesn't have a
especially in
switch
big
screen
games.
that undermines the team every night.
That is also true.
And it's like he,
And he's had his chance to play without Tatum in big games. What did he do in those big games? I'll
yeah,
wait.
he has one though, and I think he's a good. I mean, he's like a top 20 player, but he's paid like a
Yeah,
top
I agree.
5 or 10 player, and I
Top
just
three
don't.
player. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. And can we like people be like, well, they've done him wrong with these leaks and such. Look, man, he's making 60 something million dollars. That's what the money's for. I use that line later.
Fair.
A little foreshadowing.
Okay.
Kawhi made his way back to Toronto.
Yeah, he
Draft picks, I
I
guess. I
guess
don't
he
know.
I guess you could say he's planting new roots elsewhere.
Brandon Ingram, right? It was Brandon Ingram.
Yeah, Brandon Ingram, yeah.
Oh, aspirations. I got it. I'm sorry. I stepped all over
Yeah,
your joke.
yeah.
Sorry about that.
All good.
Um,
It's all good.
yeah, I mean, look, he left 7 years ago in a way that I feel like is almost under discussed. And
Yeah.
oh, I like it for
Yeah,
Toronto. We'll see.
I do. I think they're gonna be they're gonna be a fucking problem in the East. My only thing about Kawhi's LA tenure is if people are saying LeBron's tenure in LA was a failure, then what the fuck was Kawhi's?
I think most people would consider it a failure. He refused to defend his championship in Toronto to move to a
Yeah,
play-in team, and then he made them
yeah,
trade SGA and a bunch of stuff for Paul George.
yep.
That might be the single dumbest thing I've ever seen a player do in the NBA.
Yeah.
You left the team. That team won 50 something games in 2020 after he left, so he very well could have
Hmm.
repeated.
They probably could have
LeBron wasn't
repeated.
in the East. He could have repeated,
Yeah.
so you punted on a chance to repeat to go
Hmm.
to the Clippers, and then you take SGA, who's
You
at
blew a legendary 3-1 lead.
yeah, you forced them for that you forced them to trade
Yeah, before
SGA
that. Yeah, before
and
that.
everything. So you traded the best player and all the picks for
Hmm.
Paul George. And I mean, he's just one of the stupidest players I've ever seen in my life. Like
That is the dumbest move I've ever
I've
seen.
never seen
All
anything like
that,
it.
all that, and where's the Carlton Towns? After all that, just so you could fucking fly a helicopter from your crib in San Diego to games and not win a championship and not make
And
a single NBA Finals.
I mean, they haven't won a playoff series since like 2021. He's
I
hurt every
think you're,
year.
I think you're right. Yeah, he hurt all the time. He was a
Um,
monster last year. He had a crazy year last year.
But like
Um,
that's the thing. He had one good year. He's 35, and they're just like
yeah,
Toronto's gonna they like it's they're acting like they're getting 2019 Kawhi, and that's just not.
right.
I don't know. I don't really like the way that guy moves.
I agree, but he's significantly a significant upgrade over Brandon Ingram, which does
Yeah.
make them a problem in the playoffs. And if you have a guy who can make big shots in the East, you got a chance because Cleveland, we don't know what they're going to look like. If Brown goes back, obviously that changes things. But for right now, they're we know what they do in the playoffs, so
Uh,
they can give the Knicks all
yeah,
they want.
yeah. I mean, you figured the Knicks will be back. The
Yeah,
Celtics. Last I saw Jason Tatum, his calf was hurting again, so who knows where that goes.
yeah, I think Celtics going to be worse.
Halliburton looking like a
Um,
Professor Clump.
yeah,
Bro.
uh, I'm not sold on Miami. I'm not. I don't think they're going to be that good.
I
I'll be honest
mean,
with you.
I don't either.
Who's going to shoot the ball? Who's going to shoot? Who's going to be the point guard?
I can't name. I mean, it's just Bam. I mean, Andrew Wiggins, Bam, and Giannis. Giannis
Yeah,
hasn't won a playoff series since
in like
2022.
4 years.
Hasn't been
Yeah.
out of the first round. He
Yep.
had calf issues last year.
Hmm.
I don't understand why we keep penciling in these old players on these new teams as the like the playoffs has shown us time and time again that like the old veteran as your lead player just isn't really you're not going deep into the when's the last time
Yeah,
like
you're not.
I mean Steph in 2022 it's just the
Yeah.
game is too demanding the games are every other night these guys get hurt and you're just like look, Giannis is an athletic player he's on he relies on athleticism he's getting
Hmm.
older and everyone's just like penciling him in for healthy and I'm like he hasn't played a full season in
Yeah. If your middle name is like if when healthy,
yeah.
I don't know how much faith I can have in your hopes as a team in the playoffs. Like I don't one bad leap, one rolled ankle, one step on somebody's foot, and you're done.
And granted, I mean, how much of that was injury, how much of that was tanking last year with Giannis? But it goes back
That's also true.
to the year before he was hurt. And then he lost in the first round and said, the real wins are the friends you make along the way. And I don't know, man. I'm just not these older players, people penciling them in for long playoff runs. I just don't. None of these big superstar trades where you give up all these picks. I mean, Kevin Durant's
They
been traded
rarely
for it
work.
twice. It never worked. Kawhi it didn't work. The last one I can think of is really Drew Holiday, and
Yeah.
so it's just
Yeah.
I just feel like these teams are building out under an old paradigm and not what the game is
Hmm.
today. So, um, Lakers just got themselves a Duke basketball team or an old school Duke
Yeah,
basketball team.
about to say, yeah, they look
Duke is
like
black as hell now.
they look like Duke when JJ played.
Yeah, they got Bobby Hurley, Christian Laettner,
Right, right. Who's the other white kid?
JJ Redick.
Yeah, Joe shit, JJ Redick.
They got they Cooper Flag, but Cooper Flag
Bob
was
Cousy.
yeah. Larry Bird's gonna move into the front office.
Right.
No, I had honest to God, I had never heard of Walter Kessler until they gave him that contract. I was like,
I'd heard of him. It was the
who's
other
this
guy I
tall
hadn't
white
heard
dude?
of. It was the other guy I hadn't heard of. Walker Kessler had been in trade talks to the Lakers for the last like year and a half. So I'd heard of him. I hadn't really seen him play because he plays in fucking Utah, who they're never on TV.
And they don't even try to win. Like he played five
Yeah, well
games
that
last year,
too.
and I saw the draft package, and I'm like, let me do some Googles. He only played in five. Like, is this a? I don't get it. What does he do? Who is he?
Nah. Now there was another guy Lakers signed, and I was like, "Is this a real human?" I thought it was like an AI or a 2K creative player. I can't even remember his name. I'm trying to find it right now. That his name was crazy.
Then they
Some
gave
super
Austin
European
Reeves all
shit.
that money. I don't know
Yeah,
what's going on there. Luca, though, I think Luca wanted this, so
he did. He did.
Luca
Yeah,
wanted
he
to
did.
roll big. He got one. Luca wanted a secondary ball handler. Austin Reeves is pretty good at that.
Yeah,
We'll see what the Lakers do, man. I don't see them.
I
I don't
don't.
see this team beating anybody of consequence.
I don't think they're going to be very good. I'm gonna be honest with you. Their defense got worse. They lost all their wings. Lost all their color. Um,
We're gonna say lost their athleticism. We'll go with that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They lost their athleticism. They're really in a shortage of athletic wings and
Yeah, they're a
3-and-D
gritty
guys.
team.
Yeah, they're pretty hard nosed. They're deceptively fast.
Oh man.
Yeah, it sounds based on everything I've read, it seems like basically the Lakers got Luca so they basically could push LeBron out pretty much essentially. And Luca was down with that, I guess, from what everything I'm reading and seeing. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna be very good, man. I think they're gonna regret this shit. I think they're gonna look dumb as I think they already look dumb as hell. First of all, he's the only guy who was healthy in the playoffs. He's the only guy who performed well in the playoffs, aside from Rui, who you also lost to the Clippers, team next door. That's stupid. Um, and then you kick him down all the way out the door. I just don't think that's a good look as a historic franchise. I don't think that's how you treat great players. I know obviously with some bad blood there. And once the team got sold, I knew Brown was leaving. That's usually when you get new management, they want their own guys. So that's just how that goes. But um, yeah, I don't think they're going to be that great. I think they'll be maybe a 6 seed. I don't really see them making very much noise, honestly. And after really watching Luka on a regular basis for the last 2 years, I don't think you can win with him as your best player.
I mean, I think the
Like,
finals
I
in
mean,
Dallas.
yeah, but they won one game and he was younger then and healthier then. You know what I mean?
So
And
let me
also, they
ask you
had good
this:
defenders.
assuming nobody makes any other new moves, are the
Yeah.
Lakers better than the Rockets still?
Ooh, trying to think. Did the Rockets make any moves? No,
Not
they
that
picked
I'm
up
aware
Marcus
of.
Smart.
I
I
mean,
think they picked up Marcus Smart.
okay.
Um,
Uh,
uh,
sure. The players that will
I
actually play in the fourth quarter, no new moves.
correct, right. I don't think they're better than the Rockets anymore. KD's going to be healthy. You're going to have
We just thought about
one
that.
of the
Can't
Thompson.
pencil that in.
Well, that's true.
He's
Okay,
elderly.
but you know what? You still got that Thompson twin, that Thompson kid. I
Yeah.
think they're both them kids are going to be problems for a long time to come. You got Marcus Smart, a veteran who can kind of help steer the ship, so to speak. Um,
Shangoon,
Again, I
Reed
think
Shepard. Reed
yeah,
Shepard, sorry,
Şengün's
but
yeah, but Şengün is really good. I just wish he realized he could like dribble in the paint. It's like not illegal. Um, yeah, I think Rockets are gonna be better than the Lakers this year. Also like again, who the hell's gonna play defense on the Lakers? Like Colin
well,
Sexton? Okay,
from what I've Colin Sexton can he's a body.
yeah,
Walker Kessler,
he's a
he's
good
good
rim
defense.
protector. Yeah, but I mean, you still
No,
need wings in this league, especially in the Western Conference that can guard, and they
I mean
still don't have wings that can
I
guard.
don't think they're very good. So I mean Spurs Thunder off the rip.
Yeah, oh, that's a separate
Um
category.
T Wolves,
Yeah,
um
Nuggets.
Oh yeah, the Nuggets before T-Wolves. No, the
Yeah.
T-Wolves beat the Nuggets. So Nugget, those four off the rip. Um,
Who else?
Rockets,
Uh,
Lakers, really?
yeah, Rockets, Lakers.
The Clippers
What do
are
you think
out
about
because Kawhi's
Clippers?
gone.
Clippers?
Nah, they out.
Yeah.
You can be around Darius Garland and Brandon Ingram. See you in the lottery. Start counting the ping pong balls right now.
Oh
Oh,
man.
so that's the six right there.
Yeah.
So I would say between the Rockets and the Lakers, a 4 or 5 seed. But the
Yeah.
top four to me is
Um,
locked in. Utah will bounce back for sure because they're
I
actually
think
trying.
Portland's gonna be good this year.
Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it.
Well, they'll be better this year because they have more playoff experience, more veterans. I don't know what the hell they're gonna do with all those guards. Somebody's gonna get moved, I think. Um, Suns, I don't know. You know what? I can see the Suns being like a 6 seed this year.
Yeah,
Another
but
year with Jaylen Green, he kind of emerged last year.
they were a nice little story. But I think the top
Him and
six is
Book,
locked in. We're definitely forgetting something, but hit us in the comments. Let us know
Dallas.
which team
Oh yeah, Dallas.
that's. I mean, Cooper's back, Kyrie's back.
Yeah,
But you know, I
yeah,
think the top six though is locked in. Spurs, Thunder, Wolves, Nuggets,
yeah,
Lakers, Rockets, and then the rest. Then there's a clear tier break there. Um,
yeah. I agree. Yeah.
Anything you want to say in parting shots to LaMelo as he leaves
Parting shots
the
to Lamelo.
The great North Carolina state?
You know, it's weird. This feels like the most random rebuild ever. Like they were ascending. They were like the hottest team in the league second half of the year. They just missed the playoffs by a game because they got smoked by Detroit. Um, or sorry, Orlando. I just don't know what they're doing. I don't know what Charlotte's doing. I mean, I think the coach really just did not fuck with LaMelo.
Yeah, I think that's what they're doing here.
I think that's really what it is.
I
I
think
get it,
he's been around
but
for
I don't
six
get it.
years. He still
Yeah,
hasn't matured much, and they got Con Knipple, they got Brandon Miller. The
yeah.
coach is new, and they're just like, let's just clear the deck of the previous
The
regime.
problematic people.
Yeah, and it's like they got the wife beater out of there.
Yeah, they got Miles Bridges out of there.
Yeah, and so they're just like, you know what? What I think actually happened is a deep down, and if you gave them truth serum, they would just say that they thought the
He's not a
run to
winning
close.
player.
No, they just thought that they just the that was a little fool's gold last year.
Full
Like
scope. Yeah,
anytime you see a team go on a run in
a young team. Yeah,
March and April, beating on teams that are tanking,
tired and
and then
old
they
and
weren't tough in the playoffs, and I'm sure they were just like, we can chip him out, reset, and not, get trapped into that fool's gold. So I think that's what's
yeah.
going on. You want to talk about your next topic, man, the gold medal?
Yes, I found this on like YouTube, I think, or something. Gold medal theory, where basically, an athlete puts in all their time, 10,000 hours and all that. They finally get to the top. They reach the mountain, the peak. They win the gold medal, win the trophies, whatever award in whatever given sport, and then they kind of realize like, damn, is that it? They almost
Yeah.
have this like epiphany of like it's not enough, like it's not what they thought it would be. Which I thought was really interesting because I've heard like a lot of actors speak about that too. Like I think Jim Carrey once said, I wish everybody could have all their dreams come true and make all the money in the world so they could realize that that's not the answer. Um, and so seeing that I didn't know the term before, so I kind of, when I found, I was like, oh, that's really cool, or not cool, but really interesting. So I thought it'd be a cool topic to talk about because it's got a lot of tentacles there.
Yeah, I think obviously life is broken down into the milestones and
Right.
so on and so forth. But again, I will say it's very easy for rich people to say money doesn't buy happiness.
Because they
They ain't
haven't.
giving none of it away. So,
Right.
but there's a line I love in The Wire. One of the cops, detectives, Lester Freeman, he's talking to McNulty,
Mhm.
and McNulty's one of those like obsessive cops. He's trying to win every case. He's trying to bring the bad guys in. And Lester Freeman says, and I'm sorry for looking off screen. He goes,
Yeah.
they're in on a Sunday working, and Jimmy's just like, this is the best shit in the world. We're chasing whoop whoop. And Lester's like, you need to have a life, Jimmy. And he's like, what's that? And he goes, "A life, Jimmy. You know what that is? It's the shit that happens while you're waiting for moments that never come." And it's like
Mm,
the if you don't find a way to enjoy just existing and in the because if you that moment where you can just put a bow on it and say this feels good, I'm done, that's never gonna come.
right.
And so you have to find a way to live in the moment and enjoy the journey because Kevin Durant thought winning that championship at Golden State, I don't know why,
Yeah.
but he thought that would be everything he wanted. And like I want to know who's advising him because I could have told him like, dude, that's gonna
I
feel
could
so
have told him,
cheap.
"Hey,
No one's
bro,
gonna think that
no one's gonna,
no
no
one's
one's
gonna
gonna respect
respect
that
it.
ring, man."
It's like, and he's like, I did what y'all wanted me to do, and it's like, okay, but no,
No, you
you
didn't.
really didn't.
You ruined the greatest rivalry ever.
um, and so it's just like, dude, you chase that milestone and you get it, and you chase the next one and you get it, and I understand that, but like, you got to learn how to just enjoy the moments, enjoy the life while you wait for the moments that never come. So, what are your
Yeah,
thoughts on it?
yeah. It kind of made me think of a lot of athletes talk about like the high they get of like winning and the adrenaline of like the fans and the roaring and the screaming and all that stuff. And it almost makes me think like because you're an athlete and they talk so much about process, it almost makes you wonder, okay, if they're so addicted to the process and they think that, I mean, obviously that's the end result, that's the end goal, but because once they've got to the peak of their addiction, almost, it's like, okay, but what now? Because they almost still have the addiction in a sense, if that make
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like I remember I read Matthew Perry's book and he was talking about how like, you know, the only time like life made sense for me or I felt confident or like and a sense of self, good sense of self was like when I was drunk or high or on something, you know? And he's like, when I was around people, it was fine, but like I could not be alone. And that's what, you know what I mean? And he's like, like the laughing he got from being Chandler, that filled him, but it didn't, it's a placebo, you
yeah.
know? And so like you're still you still have those traumas, you still have those holes, those broken places that, those things can't heal. And I almost wonder if athletes think that that's what that's going to do, or if it's just like they've built so much of their identity into their vocation that they don't know who they are outside of it.
I don't think most, especially at the highest level, these athletes even get an opportunity to learn who they are.
Yeah.
Who they are as what basketball player, NFL player, so on and
Hmm.
so forth. Yeah, man. Life can feel a lot like a video game in the sense that like once you beat it, like you don't beat life, but like once you like the goal that
Right.
you have is like that video game, and then you beat it, and it's like you ever play a video
Hmm.
game after you beat it, and you're just like,
Yeah.
I don't want to do this. Like there's
Yeah. No,
no
yeah.
there's no tomorrow, there's no new goal. I'm just like Grand Theft Auto, people beat it and they just drive around aimlessly. I could never do that because it's just like there's no
Yeah. Yeah.
missions, there's no
Yeah.
I almost would rather start it over and replay the game than to
Yes,
just
I do
play the
that.
post game. It's not
Yeah.
there's
That's
no
so interesting you say that.
tomorrow.
Yeah, I actually have that problem a lot. Like I want to have an addictive personality, but my addiction is getting addicted to things, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Not substances or anything like that, but just, and like, so for example, like I hyperfixate a lot. And like, for example, like that's why I love movie franchises and like book series. But like, for example, like I love Harry Potter. I didn't read the final Harry Potter book and finish it until like last year because I didn't want to finish it. Because it's like, then once you finish it, you're like, okay, well, what do I do? Like, you know what I mean?
No, I always say the second time you play a video game is a better experience than the first time because the first time you're trying to complete it, and the second time
Yeah,
you're enjoying it, and those are two different
yeah,
things. And
correct.
so like the first time I played Mass Effect 3, I want to get the story, I want to see what happens next, da 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 da. But the second time I played it, I already know what's going to happen, so I can just oh, what's behind this rock and go and see that, and that triggers
Yeah,
this new thing, and so on and so forth. So. No, I mean that makes a lot of sense. Once you stand on that podium, you got to get off of it, and then the rest of your life
right.
starts again.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
you got to see
Or
what
you got to go
happens.
back to ground zero to try to climb that mountain again, which is, also scary too.
Get that gold medal in the next 4 years. You ready to name some episodes?
Yeah, yeah, I'm ready. Let me
All
pull my
right,
list
so
up.
Little peek behind the curtain, little content trick in the podcasting game is you just name stuff. So we got
When in doubt,
top
make a list.
when in doubt, make a list, man. Top three episodes of TV ever. I mean, I didn't. That's all I count. That's the only thing I gave you for the prompts. So you
Yeah.
got your three. I got my three. You do the honors.
All right. So you wanted me to just list them all and then we talk about each episode, or how do you want to go
Go
about it?
on, talk about it, and then I'll go on and talk about it. And if we start
Okay.
going long, we'll cut it and trip it and do that with it. So just one at a time at
Okay.
this time.
Cool. Okay. So my first one, you may have this one on your list, is Game of Thrones season 3, episode 10, or sorry, episode 9, Reigns of Castamere, famously more known as the Red Wedding.
Yeah.
It's I wouldn't say it's peak Game of Thrones, so there are episodes that you could say are better, but in terms of I literally just watched it before we recorded just to like
I
make
watched it
sure
this
I
weekend too.
didn't like romanticize it or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, First of all, I remember just like speaking of first impressions, like the first time I watched it, I binged Game of Thrones in like 2 months with the girl I was dating during the pandemic, and we watched it every night after work, and we like sat there at the end and we're just like, what? Like we were like, what? Let's just go to bed. Like I'm depressed. I'm sad. I want to cry. I don't even want to finish the season anymore. Like we literally were screaming at the top of our lungs, bro. Like it was like, yo, when she pulled the chain mail back on
Yeah.
Roose Bolton, she slapped shit in her mouth. I was like, oh no. And then like they stabbed the baby first. I was like, oh damn, oh my God. Like, and in Game of Thrones, everybody dies, but that shit felt like it felt like 10 deaths in one watching her die.
So the funny
They
thing
shot
about
Rob.
that is that so in Westeros, the law of is it guest rights? It's like
Mhm.
I don't think the TV show did a good enough job of explaining just how
Out of pocket
much
it is to kill
how
somebody
to
at a wedding.
at a, like one and the reason why the first thing because Caitlyn was skeptical, Catelyn was
Yeah,
skeptical, and that's why
yeah,
when she first got there, she's like, "Let's break bread," because she knew that would give them guest rights,
yeah,
and that's when she was like, "Okay, so this is legit. They actually fed us." And
yeah,
so
yeah.
you just and she's fine, and they start playing Reigns of
And
Castamere, and she's just like,
yeah. Oh no.
like,
Yeah, she's like, wait, what? Even when they
also,
closed the door after they did the bridal shit where they
yeah.
carried them out to go consummate the marriage, and they closed the door and she was like, oh, you could tell then she was like spidey senses are tingling. Um,
So and also it like I for, Roose Bolton being a liege lord,
yeah,
murdering his king is just like I mean, Jamie's whole nickname, the Kingslayer, was because of that. Like,
right. Like that's yeah.
it's
I don't know
it,
how Roose got off like scot free for that. Actually, I don't understand that. I know he's working with the Lannisters, but still, like that shit was nuts. Um,
I mean, so he lost his. I mean, that was well. I guess he was Lord of Winterfell for 2 seasons, but
yeah.
the his liege lords, his bannermen weren't
Mhm.
cool with it. Like they, it
Right,
wasn't something that the North just accepted. It was just like they had no king
right.
and the war was
Yeah,
over. So he's, what do you
true.
do?
Yeah. There's that, and then they shot Rob with like Rob was my favorite character in the show, and so like when they shot him with all those arrows, I was like, no, no, no. And then he stood up, I was like, oh, he a real one. He's gonna survive, and he didn't.
No.
And then
Um,
his mom was like, remember his mom, Catelyn had the wife, like,
yeah.
yo, I'll kill her if you. And he was like, all right,
Yeah. I'll find
and
another.
yeah, I'll find another. And then so she just gave her the axe. Then she just stood there like for like 30 seconds and then they just slit her throat and then just roll credits. I was like, that was the most like heartbreaking episode maybe ever.
I mean,
That hurt, man.
it didn't make my list, but it's one of the, three
Yeah,
best episodes of Game of Thrones ever. I'm
yeah.
going to start with Mad Men, an episode called The Suitcase. For
Okay.
those who haven't watched it, Mad Men is a bit more obscure, and it's basically the two main characters of the show, Don and Peggy, are working on her birthday late to get this ad right, and you almost see like them become equals in the episode. But more importantly, it
Mhm.
has one of my favorite lines ever. If you've ever seen the meme, "That's what the money's for," this is in this episode, and she's just
Mhm.
like. she works for him. He runs a business, and she's just
Right.
complaining. She's like, you took my idea for this, and he's like, that's how this works. This is my company. I'm the creative director. I give you
Right.
money, you give me ideas. And she goes,
You
but
never
you
say
never say
thank you.
thank you. And he's like, that's what the money's for. I, and I use that all the time. Like when some
Yeah.
athlete is like complaining about like trade rumors, I'm like, that's what the money's for. Like,
Right.
oh,
You're
when
set up for life so you can deal with the trade rumors.
like anytime some person is complaining about fame, I'm just like,
Yeah.
that's what the money's for. Like fame does suck. I agree. That's why it pays so well.
Correct.
Like well, not all the time, but in like when it's an actor or an athlete, or they're just
Hmm.
like, y'all don't understand. When we get traded, we have to like find our kids new schools, and I'm like, dude, that's what the money's for. It's not like you're packing up boxes and moving from Memphis to
Right.
Portland, Ja. Like you're paying someone to do that. Like,
Yeah,
sorry
you're
if
not touching anything.
I'm not losing any sleep over the fact that your kids have to find new schools. It does suck. That's what the
Right.
money's for.
Yeah.
Like
I
every
hear
job has
you.
aspects of it that are unpleasant, and ultimately that's why they pay you money. You know.
Hmm.
Oh, it's So that was my number. That was my first. I don't know. I didn't rank them,
Okay.
but what's your second
Yeah,
one?
but say I didn't rank mine. My next one is every woman in my life who's under the age of like 40. This is their favorite episode of this show. And the episode title is Loki Happy of Insecure.
Oh man,
Uh,
that motherfucker would
that
have made my list if I thought of it.
first of all, for the people who haven't seen the show, it's a 30-minute episode, and it is like the most romantic thing I've maybe ever seen in TV.
The thing is, you
So that
don't
they're
even need the build up. It's a perfect
no,
with the build up. But if it is an
yeah,
isolated episode of television, you could just watch it with
yes,
no nothing and just
yeah,
watch
dead
two
ass
people who are so obviously in love fall back
in
in love in
love.
22 minutes.
Yes, yes, literally, it's so perfect. Like that shot of them outside, where they're after the date, where there's it's like the red lights and the
Yeah.
green lights, and their outfits are the opposite,
Yeah.
and it's just like the silhouettes, fucking perfect cinematography there.
At
There's
the end, when she's
the
like, what if I wanted to stay? And he's like, I don't know. And she's like, today made me happy. And he's like, you make me happy.
you
And
make me
she's like,
happy.
so. And he's like, so stay. And it was just like,
Yeah, that's
oh my
perfect.
God, that's good.
Yeah, man. Even like so for me, it was the dinner scene where they're at the restaurant and they're talking about the breakup, and she's like she at one point she was like kind of hesitant about what to say. He's like, hey, like no eggshells,
Yeah.
like let's just keep it real with each other. We know each other too long to like pussyfoot around and shit, whatever. And he's telling her what he was going through that he couldn't verbalize at the time, and she's saying what she was going through, like where she's like, I just would drive around because I didn't want to come home because it was so depressing to see you like that. And he's like, damn, I didn't even know, like, you know what I mean? It's just that conversation that they needed to have eventually. One of my favorite scenes also is when they're walking through the art walk and they're like telling jokes, and it's
Yeah.
like corn identity, and it's like, oh, have you seen the other one? Porn identity.
The one about
And
climate
it's like
change, the warm
it's
identity. But for real, though, that's
identity.
serious.
It's real serious, yeah. The one about the action movie, the Born Identity.
Because
um,
it just makes you think back to your little inside jokes with your little boo back in the day, and
yeah,
like every relationship has like their own little language, and
correct.
yeah, I'm not gonna say specifics, but it's just
Yeah.
it'll be a joint I don't even talk to anymore. But like
Hmm.
I'll see something and just smirk,
Yeah, yeah,
It's just like, that was a cool little it was for a moment in time that was a little inside joke.
yeah. That was a great time capsule of emotion there.
Then they stumble out of the restaurant and they run into
Right into her
her little
ex.
flame. He's like,
Yeah.
it's like we used to get it in. Oh, I bet.
Oh, okay. And he's like, "Oh yeah, we used to go there all the time to get the
Yeah.
prawns."
Oh man. And
uh,
he's like he just plays like he's gonna leave and then they go to the it was just I mean
yeah,
it's
yeah,
22
yeah.
perfect minutes.
It is. I'm gonna watch that shit tonight. Actually, now that I think about it, even like when they're in the Uber, and he was telling her how he had bought a ring at one point. He was gonna propose. She's like, "You didn't? I didn't know." And then the Uber driver pulls out her camera. She's like, "Propose now,
Yeah,
bitch."
whoever wrote it, and I don't know if Issa actually wrote this
I
episode or not.
think
I don't
Issa
know.
wrote that episode. I
But like
think
they
she
knew
did.
exactly when to bring some comedy in to break the tension
Hmm.
as like it's just perfect. It's literally perfect.
It is, man.
It's just I'm mad at I didn't think of it, but it's
That episode is fucking genius. That's what like my what I love most about that episode is it perfectly showed why they were in game, why they were each other's soulmates. Like there's that phrase, matching each other's freak.
yeah.
Well, like Issa and Lawrence, they match each other's like corny, they match each other's weird, they match each other's unusual eccentricities, and that's what love is supposed to be at its best. And so I love that they showed that. I also just love that it was two black people who were a little weird, a little unusual, but still normal. Because I feel like we don't really see that in TV or love stories anymore nowadays. They weren't. They look black. They weren't. Oh,
Yeah.
what are they? Maybe it wasn't
It
Zendaya.
wasn't
No
Love
disrespect. You
Island.
know what I'm saying? Right? Yeah, it wasn't Love Island. Uh, Shout out KC though. But yeah,
I just
man. Oh, I'm
know
not watching it. I'm
I
not
only
watching
see
it,
the
but I've just seen the clips
clips
on social.
on the
Yeah,
social, and
yeah,
they
yeah,
all
yeah,
just
yeah.
look like degenerates. They're just from what again, I don't they just all seem
Yeah.
unusually attractive, and it's like distracting. Like it's distracting how attractive everyone is. And I'm like, this is
No,
stupid.
there's that dog. There's this one girl in there, Kata. She's so pretty, bro. I wouldn't know how to disagree with her. I'd be like, you can have it. You're right. Like yeah, no, I feel you. But yeah, man, no. So it's just a perfect example of like what love at its best should be. That episode, I just man, great television, great writing all around.
I concur. Number two on my list, Ozymandias Breaking Bad. The episode where Hank dies in the desert, Walter escapes. To me, this is the actual last episode of the series, and then
Okay,
at the last two episodes, I think are epilogue. I call them epilogues because they don't, for
got
all
you.
intents and purposes, the story of Breaking Bad ended at Ozymandias. And so yeah, man, it's
Oh,
like
okay.
Hank gets killed in the desert. You just didn't expect that to happen. Walter falls to the ground, and then they finally get and then Walter goes off into the desert. It's one of the few TV shows on IMBD that has a 10 out of
hmm
10, and the best episode of Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad's top five series ever. So that's on the list. What's number three on yours?
That's so funny you say that, Ozymandias. I didn't finish, haven't finished Breaking Bad yet. I'm not gonna lie, but Ozymandias, I actually have read that poem. I have a book I have several poetry books, but I have a book of poems that I'm reading right now, and I actually just read that poem like 2 days ago.
It's
Uh,
I don't know why it's named Ozymandias. It's in reference to that poem, but I couldn't tell you.
yeah,
I mean, I haven't read the poem, so
it's basically about a traveler in the desert. So
there we
Breaking
go.
Bad, I mean, pretty spot on.
What's your
What was
number
my
three?
next number three? The series finale of The Office, the
Okay.
US The Office. One of my favorite shows of all time. It's one of the few long-running shows that stuck the landing, didn't leave you traumatized or wanting to shoot the writer. Um, and so they brought Steve Carell back for the last episode because the one of the main character. Have you seen the show at all? Do
I
you
have
know any of
not,
the
no.
characters or anything? Okay, so what the second lead in the show gets married and they have Steve Carell come back to be his best man. And the iconic line, "That's what she said." That was
Yeah.
one of Steve Carell's lines in the show. And there's a scene where John Krasinski, you know him, the Office meme. He's always
Yeah.
the funny guy making the face at the camera. So he's like, he was supposed to be the best man. He's like, "Hey Dwight, I got to tell you something. I can't be your best man because in Germany is a law that your best man has to be older than you. So I can't be it." He's like, "We need to find someone that can do it for you." He looks to his left behind Dwight and Michael standing in the doorway. Him and Dwight were best friends before Michael moved left the show, and and he goes, "Michael." And he's like starts to tear up, and he's like, "I can't believe you came." And you see Steve Carell with you see Steve Carell with tears in his eyes, and he's like, "That's what she said."
All right, my number three, bringing it back to Westeros. Battle of the Bastards
Yeah,
is probably my favorite episode
yeah,
of Game of Thrones. Ramsay Bolton receiving his comeuppance.
yes,
Battle of the Bastards doesn't make any like strategic sense, but
nope.
nonetheless, we're still gonna roll with it. It gave me cinema, it gave me spectacle, and obviously recently rewatching it. I'm in season 8 now, and there's a
Yeah,
clear drop in like 1 through 4. There's a quality level, and then 5 and 6 is
yes,
a drop in not in quality but in like dialogue.
yeah,
And the universe just breaks in season seven, and I shoot them some bail for that, but I think season
because
six
it
I would
wasn't their
put
fault.
right, and it's just people underestimate the constraints they were under. But we won't get into that. But I'll just say that, like, for me, season six, the Battle of the Bastard followed by Winds of Winter is the two best episodes in the series. But we'll stick to Battle
Yeah,
of the Bastards.
dovetail, perfect
Uh,
dovetail.
they storm Winterfell, they take the castle back, the Stark banner falls down again. Ramsay gets eaten up by his dogs. And then in the beginning of the episode, this almost gets lost to history. Dany uses the dragons to like win Marine over. Like she kills those people in
Right.
Marine. She returns the dragons. She sailed, she
She
decides
sails
to
the
set
starts to
sail
sail
for
the seas.
Westeros. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, Battle of the Bastards. Again, I understand the logistical issues. Why did she tell him about the Lord of the
I
Vale?
still don't.
Why did anyone warn Ramsay about the 20,000 knights, storming through the north? And when people will say like, well, it's like they had cell phones in Westeros. It's like, okay, cool, but
They
like you
had
could send
Ravens, bro.
ravens, and the ravens were basically cell phones in the show.
Right,
And so,
correct.
look, it's totally broken. That's fine. They gave me
Hmm.
spectacle. Ramsay got eaten by his dogs. 1-1, the giant breaks down the door. Battle of the
That
Bastards.
one, that one was sad. That was a sad death when the giant died. I'm not gonna lie, that hurt. Yeah, and we got the iconic meme of Jon Snow pulling the sword out against
Yeah, or even climbing out of the
a
wall of
thousand
bodies.
soldiers.
Did you know that was
Right. Yeah, yeah, climbing out.
the actual medieval war strategy, where you bait your opponents in the middle of the battlefield and then you would
Mhm.
surround them with shields and then just close on them. And most of the people didn't even die from being stabbed; they died from the crowd crush.
Suffocated. Yeah.
Yeah, like you can see when John is on the ground and he climbs himself way back up. Like, I mean, that's almost just stab me, dude. I don't want to be crowd crushed.
Yeah. Dude.
So they
I did not
knew
know that.
enough to make the battle historically accurate, but but just the Lords of the Vale thing makes no sense, and that's fine.
They
We
didn't.
we move.
I still to this day don't know what the hell Sansa was thinking, not telling. I actually went back and watched part of that episode today just because I figured that was probably going to be mentioned. And he's literally at one point they're having a conversation. They're just the night before the battle. It's just him and her. And she's like, "You got to think how he thinks. Don't do what he wants you to do." He's like, "Yeah, that's obvious." And he's like, "Okay, what do you want me to do?" She's like, "I don't know. I don't know anything about battle." That
Well,
would
she
have been
did
the perfect
warn
time to
him
tell
that
him.
Rickon was going to die, and he didn't listen.
She did. She did say that. She did say that. Yeah.
Or the other thing where
Um.
Ramsay like retreats to the castle but doesn't barricade it, and so like he
Yeah.
just lets him run through the castle door.
Right.
No, I mean
That was stupid.
one of my it's I hate when a plot depends on a character inexplicably keeping a secret. Like, why would she just not tell
Yeah.
her? So, like, but
No, I
whatever.
actually, yeah, that's one of my big pet peeves in like TV shows is poorly handled dramatic irony.
Yeah.
Like that was what, why?
I hate idiot plots where the plot depends on someone just becoming an idiot, which Game of Thrones becomes later.
Season 8.
Yeah, but So we named some shows, man.
Um,
You got one honorable
yeah.
mention you want to give the people before we get out of here?
That's a good one. Off the top of my head, I'm gonna go with favorite shows.
What
Mm.
is your second favorite episode of Insecure?
Oh, second favorite. Okay. I think probably the one I can't remember the name of it, but it's the one I think at the end of season 2 where Lawrence comes to the apartment to turn in his key. He's wearing like this cream sweater. She's wearing like denim, I think, and they're just talking. They're crying and they're talking about like what happened. And then there's that montage where the Daniel Caesar song is playing in the background. And it's like them imagining their future,
Yeah,
and you think it's real, and then it's not. I can't remember what that episode is called, but I love that episode.
fair enough. We'll leave the people with that. Thanks for listening. We are Out the Trunk Pod. My name is Darius, and she's I love the Arie on all socials.
I'm Jordan. That's Jordy B Writing on all socials. Again, that's Out the Trunk Pod on all socials at gmail.com. Also, tap in with us. Send us your questions, likes, comments, share, subscribe, all the good things. We appreciate y'all.
Appreciate y'all.